Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. But tonight, we've got a preseason matchup, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New York Jets. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. But the new-look Jets ready to go on offense, and it is the veteran Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
After years of flirting with the idea, the 4-time MVP finally found his way out of Green Bay this offseason, guiding himself to the Jets. We know he's already a Hall of Fame lock, but this is a chance to add one more crowning achievement to his resume.
Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 8.
Right now, you got 58.
Now it's Rodgers. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Brandon, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now, because he might be a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
So here are the Buccaneers ready to go on offense with a new man at the helm here for 2023 in his 6th season now in the NFL, Baker Mayfield.
The former #1 overall pick has had his ups and downs in recent seasons, but he finished strong last year and inherits a really good offense in Tampa. Set him up for success.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. White is into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Boy, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. And we'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Open man downfield is Hardman. He's got it. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 1. Now Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. 4 yards to pick up, first down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Rodgers. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal, you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stump the run and then executed.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On the draw, here's White. A beautiful fake. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field, and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. Mayfield on play action. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yards, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete. First down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They go with White on the counter. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 5. Now Mayfield. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 22-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
And again, it's Mayfield. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Jets will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker try on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning,
and now off to the races down the right side. He's got room at the 30, and he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They will run with White out of the shotgun. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Quentin Jefferson forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this one is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. And New York set to take the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. A gain there of 21 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Play action. It's Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Wilson. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
He finds his man complete. That's Knight. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-3 our score after one here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Play action. Now Wilson. And he fires one incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now. It's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Well, now they'll try the end around. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
In my humble estimation, terrific work there defensively. Running backs trying to get wide, get to the sideline, and they beat him to the spot, forced him out of bounds, pretty close to the line of scrimmage.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that'll bring him back within 4. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. He completes this to Russell Gage. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. A very solid gain of 27. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
First down, here's White. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad White ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game, as his guys are able to extend their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Setting up the screen for Cook, and he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rachaad White. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the second time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm
fantasy.
Going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy line, but you don't. Why don't you just play? You don't.
I'm not good enough to play the fantasy game. I enjoy watching.
You're an analyst. You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my book.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And he's got his big tight end here. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning. From the red zone now, Mayfield. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
This is caught by Evans. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker. But now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe. Because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
And his kick is right there. It's good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Here comes Cobb. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Now Wilson on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Wilson. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. Each team now with just one more game after this one, and then we will get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. These 2 coaching staffs are likely using this game as their dress rehearsal for the regular season. So some final adjustments being made. And for the call of the second half, we send it back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a 2-score game. That has a chance to tighten up considerably.
Oh, did the Jets miss this guy? Here's Breece Hall. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Boy, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. From the 29, here's 2nd and 5. Wilson. He finds his man complete. That's Knight. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They'll go for it. It's Hall. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
To throw is Wilson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter, despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
From the gun on third down, Wolford. Well, this one into the hands of Vaughn. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wolford. Slant route going to be caught by Palmer.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The play fake, and now Wolford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
They had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
They'll run on first down. Edmonds Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 3. Wolford to throw. Escaping the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Ashton Davis just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. Thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen to Carter. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Play action. It's Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Knight. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield. Everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Throwing is Wilson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Oftentimes when you see a tip ball, one that's popped in the air, it looks like it's going to be an interception. Sometimes the guys try too hard, or they fight each other and knock each other off the ball, and this one ends up falling to the ground.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of the first as he's tackled at the 47. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Across midfield, he's on his way. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chase Edmonds, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bucs will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Todd Bowles leaving his offense on the field. They're going to go for 2 here. A toss running left. Edmonds. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of a 2-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it was unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this last half of the game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for 2.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And New York set to take the field. A little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Boyle. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wolford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Wolford's throw here into the hands of Moore. 23 yards the pickup there.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Wolford now on 1st down. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. We'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. Edmonds going to get the handoff here on the option. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. They'll run with Edmonds again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Throwing is Wolford on third down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A nice pickup of 10 means that this drive will stay on track.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looks like you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third, and then the tables turned. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down. Now Wolford off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
On play action, Wolford. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So an important one there as they widen their lead in this fourth quarter.
All right, partner, help me out with the math here. Make sure I am on point because the way I see it, the other guys still need 2 touchdowns. But in addition, a 2-point conversion. So this is all about them playing perfect football from here on out.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The New York set to take the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
To throw on third down. Boyle. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up fourth.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got a man, and that's Alex Erickson. And he is going to have a Jets first down, and they come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving and then some. Operating from the gun, Boyle. He'll get this complete to Erickson. And quickly, they get to the line. On 1st and 10, Boyle. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
On third down, here's Carter. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now they send a man in motion right. And it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jets are able to cut into that deficit. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
Zerline connects on the extra point as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. On play action, now Wolford. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
New York set to take the field. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 9. Now a handoff up the middle. Knight. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Looking to throw. Boyle. That's complete right side to Lazard. And he is going to have a Jets first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
A lot on the line here, even for just a preseason game. Jobs to be won and lost. It's third down. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they've got a fourth down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Dancing to his left. That's to his running back, complete. And he is going to have the Jets first down. The defense a little lax there. They give up 9 on 4th and 4. They'll look to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Jets have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Big play coming now for the Jets as they'll set up to go for 2. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now remember, no overtime here in preseason. This offense hoping that's a moot issue as they try to finish this one off. On 3rd down, they run with Edmonds. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
That one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From MetLife Stadium, good night, everybody.